It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Evangel's head cheerleading coach, Coach Richelle Washington. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Brandon.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching and college cheerleading?
Well, I've had a passion for cheer my whole life. I've been in it as long as I could remember. I just wasn't good at the other sports, the physical sports. I wasn't good at tennis. I wasn't good at basketball. I wasn't good at anything. And then I found cheer and I was really good at it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I always loved learning how to do new things, build new skills. And then there was like the stunting aspect of it, which is really fun, but then also the dancing side or cheering side of it, with the routines and everything like that. So it was like two things in one. And I enjoyed both sides of it. I was also very shy whenever I was younger. And so, like I would barely say anything in classes or anything like that. And then I would get into the cheer environment and I'm yelling, screaming cheers. And everybody's like, where is this voice coming from? Who is this person? So that's kind of where I knew I fell in love with cheer. I actually didn't know that I wanted to coach cheer or coach at all, let alone college level, for a really long time. So I went through grade school, cheered, and then got to my senior year of high school. And I actually didn't plan on cheering in high school at all, or I'm sorry, in college at all. And so like high school was going to be my last stop in my whole cheer experience background. When I went to college, I actually didn't even try out for the team originally. And so I just was like, I'm leaving this in the past. This is all back there. I'm going to college. I'm focusing on school. I'm not going to be on any sports teams. I'm not doing anything. And then while I was on campus one day, I had to go to the library to get a book. And in there, I ran into one of the Southern cheerleaders. And I had no idea who she was at first. And I was actually very confused because she just came up to me and she was like, "You cheer, don't you?" And I was like, no, not currently. I had before, but I was like, I don't cheer right now. And she was like, well, I believe I've seen you cheer before, and I would love for you to come to our practice and just cheer with us a little bit, stunt around with us, talk to our coach, and everything like that. And at that time, I was very nervous about doing it. One, because I had already had that mindset that cheer was going to be in my past. I wasn't going to continue. So I was on the fence about that. And then also so much time had already went by with me not doing it that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have this skill anymore. And so I was going back and forth for a while of going in and doing it or not. And eventually, I believe my boyfriend said, he's my fiance now, my boyfriend at the time, though, said that, what's it going to hurt? You're going to go in, you're going to either enjoy it, and even if you're enjoying it for a few hours and then you never go back in there, that's fine. Or you're going to go in and you're going to realize that you're really done and you don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, you're right. I'm never going to know unless I do it. And I went in and I loved it. I immediately fell in love. I was doing things that I had no idea I could even do. I had been a back spot throughout my grade level experience. And when I got there, she was like, "No, you're going in the air." And so they put me up. I was hitting stunts I didn't even know I could hit, doing things I didn't know I could do. And it was just like a whole new realm had opened up for me. She ended up talking to me, telling me that she wanted me to join the team. And from there started my college experience on that side. I didn't do it long. I did it for, I think I wasn't in college long because I did a lot of schooling in high school. And so whenever I was in college, I was only supposed to have 2 years, but I did like 2.5, 3-ish years kind of. But so I did it for like a year and a half in college. And then I took a break from it again because I wanted to focus on my schooling. It was getting close to graduation. I wanted to make sure I was going to graduate. And that was a really hard time for me because it wasn't like high school where I was content with the decision. I was very upset with having to stop and focus on my future goals, which I am content with doing it now. But at the time, I was very distraught over having to make that decision. And then once I was completely done with that, I graduated. I started my career. Thought cheer once again was in the past and not gonna be any part of my future. A position opened up at a junior high for an assistant coach. And I was like, you know what? I can use the extra money. It's younger kids. It's not going to be hard. I'm just going to be the assistant. So it's not like everything's going to be on me. And quickly realized, yes, during football season, they're combined. And then basketball season, the teams split up. And so then I did have my own team during basketball season. But I fell in love with the kids. Whenever I was doing that, I didn't plan to do it long. But these kids, I have a passion for working with kids and a really hard time of saying no to things that I enjoy doing. And so I came back again the next year and coached them again, went through that. During that time was kind of hard. I lost the head coach there. She passed away right before the end of the season. And so I kind of finished a year with the girls by myself, and that was a really hard experience. And during that time, that's whenever I actually started coaching at Evangel too, which also was not something I had expected to happen. Was thinking like, oh, I want to try getting older girls, older teen. I was thinking maybe of opening up my own gym. Like there was just a lot of thoughts going on with it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply for this coaching position. I was like, there's not a chance I'm going to get it, but I'm going to do it. And if they call me for an interview, at least I'm going to know what to expect whenever I am at that level where I can get a college coaching position job. So my thought process going into that was there's not a chance in the world I'm going to get this position. I'm going to apply for it anyways. So all of this was like happening around the same time. I was going through a really hard time. And then starting coaching a new team. And so all of this together was just a lot. And from that junior high team, I had ended up just stepping away after that season. I thought I was going to be done with junior high. And then I moved schools because I'm finishing my master's right now, which I'll be done with completely in May. But I got offered a job early, and I moved schools to start that job. And there, they saw my background in cheer, and they were like, we haven't had a cheer team in years since COVID. And they were like, we would love if you could start this program back up for us. And like I said, I am very bad at saying no to things I enjoy doing. And so I said yes. And I was once again coaching a junior high team again, still coaching at Evangel. And so did this whole year doing that, which was a lot. But I love being busy. I'm constantly running around. I feel like whenever I'm not running around, it's very weird. I don't know what to do with myself. So I was running around all this year as well. And then the high school coach here stepped down from her position, and now they're wondering if I'm interested in that position as well. So it's a lot. Maybe coaching 3 teams next year, who knows? And still full-time job, but that's where I'm at with that whole experience and kind of how it was sprung on me that I wanted to be a coach, and I fell in love with being a coach. But there was never a point where I was like, I'm going to be a coach or had planned to be a coach. It was kind of something that just fell in my lap almost.
What was that feeling like taking the Angela job and becoming the next head coach?
Taking the Evangel job was a shocking experience. Like I said, I didn't really expect to get it. I was at the time 22. I'm 23 right now. At the time I was 22. Only had junior high coaching experience. And it was only assistant coaching experience at the time, other than like my physical self being in college cheer and cheering all my life. On the coaching side, I only had assistant. So I was very shocked that they even called me to begin with. When I got interviewed, it was a very long interview. Evangel is a Christian-based school. They wanted to know my religious background. So we talked about that for a while. They wanted to know my cheer history, talked about that for a while, and just my educational experience as well, because it is college. So as a coach for a college, you're also encouraged to encourage the kids to want to do things, want to get good grades, want to plan for their future, things like that. So it was a really long interview, but it was still in my mindset, like, I'm not getting this job, but I loved the experience I got. I was like, I'm going to know what to expect whenever I go into a real one that I'm going to have a chance of getting. He had told me at the end of it, he was like, you're a really impressive person. We do have 3 other candidates that we've interviewed, though. He's like, we'll let you know within a week if you get it or not, and everything like that. And then I walked out, and I was still like, I'm not getting this, but it's good to hear whenever someone compliments you on your achievements. So that was a nice feeling. It was good to get that experience under my belt, know what to expect for the next time, everything under the sun along with that. I walked out probably 30 minutes after I walked out. He called me back, and he was like, I would be dumb to let you go. He was like, you are very impressive, like I said. He was like, I can't risk someone else coming and taking you. He was like, we would love for you to be the coach for our Evangel team. And I was shocked out of my mind. I was like, there's no way this is real. There's no way that I am going to be coaching a college team this early. It was the craziest thing for me to fathom. And so I immediately called everyone that I knew and was telling them that I got the position. It was really hard because I couldn't post anything about it. I could tell people, but I couldn't post anything about it yet because the team, because the past coach had already did the tryouts for the next season. So there was already a team put in place, but they didn't know yet. And so I couldn't post anything about it. And obviously I didn't know any of them, but like my family wise, I was calling them, my close friends, I was calling them, everybody, telling them. But on the social media side, I had to keep it on pause for a long time until everything was done, paperwork was done on that side, picture posted, everything under the sun along the lines of that. And so it was a really shocking experience. I think the team was really shocked when I walked in to meet me. Being as young as I am, that's always something that's still to this day, to this time, crazy a little bit to think about. These kids are only a few years younger than me, but have the utmost respect for me. But yeah, so it was just a really shocking experience, and I still get the shocked reactions whenever I meet new people and introduce myself as their coach. Or whenever it's really funny when we have like camp choreographers and stuff like that come in, and they're like, okay, where's your guys' coach? And I'm standing right in front of them. But it was just a really shocking experience, but I enjoy doing it. I love doing it. And I'm so glad I was given the chance to do it.
What was that transition like for you, as you said, being a young coach and having such a young, close age to your players?
It was weird. It was weird, and it was not necessarily hard, but I think it was confusing for both sides. Because with the age gap being so small, like, these are people that I could go and hang out with, but like age wise, these are people that could be my friends it would have been my friends if I was in college and didn't graduate early, and everything under the sun on that aspect. But as a coach, I'm their coach and then have to not make them, but help them understand that even though I am close in their age, they have to respect me, or they have to look at me in that coach aspect, look at me as an authoritative figure and not as someone that could possibly be their friend. And so it was my first year. It was a lot of confusion, a lot of boundary setting, a lot of learning, I think, for both sides. They taught me a lot and I learned a lot from them as well. But it was very confusing at first, trying to figure out that balance of, oh, you can talk to me about everything, but maybe not that thing. But also, I need you to trust me. I'm here to do what's best for you. I'm here to make sure you succeed. I know I'm young, and I know I don't have as much experience as someone would who had been doing this for years or had come from a different background experience. But I am here to help you, to push you, to help you learn, and I have your best interest at heart. I'm not gonna send you out doing something that's silly or makes you look bad, because that reflects on me. And so I need you to have that trust with me to be able to prove that to you. So it was a lot of learning on both sides and very confusing transition.
What does a typical game day look like versus competition day for you as a head coach versus for your coaches versus for your athletes?
So we actually don't compete right now. That's something we're pushing for really hard. We have started fundraising for it. We've started talking to the school about how we can get it done. Last year, we attempted to go and compete, or last season, sorry. Last season, we attempted to go and compete, and we had gotten a choreographer, everything like that. We had two separate teams. We had Evangel team, and then we had a comp team. And I would say the difference, or how those two teams looked, is during a normal game, we have all of our athletes. We on the line or on the floor. We had 4 different stunt groups. We would stunt with. We go out there together. I'm thinking of football games. So we'd go out there, get there early, warm up everything together. Our captains, I put a lot of trust in my captains. They would come up with game day, send it to me, game plan, send it to me. I would change things if I felt like I needed to change them, things that we've done too often, whatever I needed or felt like needed to be adjusted, go over that. Then I would have them warm up anything else that they thought they would like to do or wanted to attempt if we had extra time, just in case we had extra timeouts, because you never know how a game's going to go. Constant spirit, keeping the spirit up, pushing these athletes to keep smiles on their face, even though it's 90 degrees outside, or make sure they're drinking water, make sure nobody's getting hurt, making sure they're getting breaks in between and everything like that. Whereas when we were getting ready to compete, it was completely different. We had more practices than we did for our normal season. Not everybody was on that team. Like I said, sorry. Not everybody was on that team. We had less stunting options, less groups that we could make. We were doing a lot harder stunts than we did our normal cheer season. A lot of different skill levels that I was pushing with them than I had on my normal team, or on our normal season team. Just the expectations for that team was a little bit higher, whereas if something fell on normal season, there's still repercussions for it, and consequences and everything on that line, but they were like terrified of something falling on the comp team. It was just like, even the people that were on the comp team, they were also some of the people that were on the normal season team, but you could visibly see like the mindset difference of when they were on the normal team compared to the comp team. And it was just like a whole nother ball game. Some of them, I feel like it shifted their mindsets and pushing themselves harder. The ones that weren't on it, I feel like it forced them to want to try harder. I think it gave them a new level of confidence. Like I said, we were hitting stunts that was way harder than, or harder stunts than we thought we would ever be able to hit. While we were preparing for this competition, we had someone come in and work with us. About they developed like almost a new level of confidence in themselves and our team. The spirit was a lot higher. They had a goal they were working for, whereas during season the only thing you're going for is pumping up the school, pumping up the students, pumping up the parents, pumping up the team, encouraging them to do well, play well, which is still a good goal to have. But on the flip side of competing, it's for you. You want to win. You want that trophy. You're pushing yourself to do the best because this is about you. It's no longer about you trying to work for someone else. It's about us. And so it was just a whole nother mindset that they had reached during that time. And we were really upset whenever the competition we were going to go to had ended up falling through, because they had worked so hard for it. And then talking to the school this year, they had about next season, they had said, we want for you guys to eventually get to that point. But we think financially that it would be better to wait so to where we are at a place where we can help you guys with the getting there, competing. And so if something like this happens again where the competition you are in falls through, we have backup options, or we have the help or the resources to get you guys into a different one. Whereas you guys were doing this a lot on your own this year, and then that one fell through and you didn't have any more resources to get to a different one. And so that's kind of where we're at on the middle ground. So we don't plan on going and competing next year, but we have other things in place. We're going to start traveling more to away games. We are going to be we're starting going to more camps. We had went to some home-based camps in the past, but they're allowing us to go to some away camps this year and just getting that part of it. So they still feel like they're not completely losing something, but or something that they were fighting to get to, but then giving us that time to start getting those funds needed to have backup options put in place and ready.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you started to build for the cheerleading program?
Yes. The culture I've started to build for our program is one that was already kind of put in place whenever I got there. I just think we have increased it to another level. So we are very much spiritual based. Obviously, I told you that it is a Christian based school. And so a lot of what we do here has to align with our spirituality. So we have a DL, which is a devotional leader on our team, and she will give devotions to our team once a week. We had our practices on Mondays and Wednesdays, and so in place of them not being able to go to church on Wednesdays, we would do it on Wednesdays. I am actually changing that for the next season. We're going to have it on Tuesdays and Thursdays so that they are able to go to church on Wednesdays, but also we still have that DL put into place, and it'll just be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So they're also getting just extra time for us to align our program with our faith, but also like we pray together. We're like constantly praying together. When I say we pray together, we pray together. We are always making sure we're checking in with each other. My team is such a great team. Like I mentioned one time that I was planning to get a new Bible, or I wanted a new Bible or something like that along those lines. I don't even remember saying it. I have some recall of me like knowing that I did want to get a new Bible, but I never remembered vocalizing that to anyone. And one of my cheerleaders came in with a new Bible for me, and it was the cutest the cutest gift I've ever received, especially without asking for one. Brought me to tears that day. But that's my team. Like, we are constantly listening to each other's needs. We are constantly making sure we have our faith to lean on, not only ourselves, but our team can have it instilled in us. We are putting a lot of, I want to say, like, our relationship with each other is really good. We're constantly building each other up. This season has been one of the harder ones. This is my second year here, has been one of the harder ones. And we just relied on each other a lot. I was almost at the point of this year of walking away, and I told my team that, and I told the Evangel staff that, and it just flipped. And I was like, they had completely, like, rallied around me, praying for me. By the end of it, I was like, I can't leave these girls. I can't leave this team. This is my team, and I needed them, and they were there for me. It was hard for me. What I was going through on the coaching side of it. Our team was experiencing some hardships, and we pushed through. And I think it made us better. We had to fight for it. We had to fight for our stunts harder. We had to fight for our teammates, because I was not only in that mindset, there was other people on the team that was also in this mindset. And by the end of the year, it was one of my best coaching seasons that I had ever had. And I was like, there's no way I can leave right now. So that's just who we are. We put a lot of work into it. I have a lot of hard workers. I have a lot of leaders on my team, people that will come and take other girls under their arm when they're new, show them the ropes. Everybody's quick to jump in to help. Like, you're not gonna not have a need met on my team. Someone's gonna be on there meeting that need for you, whatever that need may be. And that's just what we are. We're helpers, we're leaders, we're hard workers, we're faith-based, and that's just kind of the culture I've built for my team, or that was given to me, that we've continued to increase upon.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to go into cheerleading?
So the recruitment process looks like, so when I first got here, I had noticed that a lot of the athletes got in that mindset of, oh, my spot is safe. I don't try out anymore. I don't have to go through recruitment anymore. And I was not very happy with that, because I thought you could tell the difference of the people that came in new, fighting for their spots, were trying harder, and then the people that were like, oh, well, I've made the team and I'm good, so I never have to try again. And I did not like that mindset walking in. And I want them to feel secure. Don't get me wrong. I do want them to feel secure, but I don't want it to be positioned to where we're no longer trying. And that's kind of how I felt walking in, that's where we were. And so I completely changed the recruitment process at the beginning of the year, of my first year. And we had did like a clinic, so everybody had to participate in it, even the people already on the team the first year. And so it was almost like everybody was trying for their spot. Not necessarily that I was going to cut someone or take someone off that had been on there for a few years, but I wanted to see that effort again. And so they went through a clinic. Everybody had to participate in it. I had to, like I said, the original team that I had walked into wasn't the team that I had hosted tryouts for, went through recruitment for. And so all of them had to participate in it. I had been reaching out to individuals that I was interested in throughout the school year. A lot of emails back and forth, a lot of phone calls back and forth. They also were blowing up my email. It got to a point where I was like, just give them my phone number. I answer better on there. I'm faster at responding on text than I am on email. So I gave the school permission to start giving parents whose students were interested in joining our school, joining our cheer team, my phone number. So then I had a lot of text messages coming through, calls from unknown numbers coming through. My phone, my text log looks completely like I have no number saved, and it's just a bunch of parents that are interested and that we've been going back and forth with. But so I'm reaching out, they're reaching out, we're communicating, setting up meetings to me. I've had a lot of parent meetings. Me and my volunteer helper at first had been going to these meetings. We had been talking about our season, talking about our goals with these parents. And so the first part of it is a lot of communication and just making those connections. Then we get to the side of where the clinic comes in, and then inviting them to the clinic, posting the clinic on our Instagram, getting people to sign up for it. The first year we did not have to pay for it. We made it free. The second year we did charge for it this year. And not much, which around our area, the other teams usually charge about $30 to $40. We had charged $15 just because it was our first year doing a payment, and I didn't want to scare anybody with that. And so we had a pretty good turnout from that. The clinic last time it was 3 days. This time it was 2 days, but they learn the fight song in it. They learn how they work with some of the returners with stunting wise, seeing what they can and can't do. My goal is always to have a one-legged stunt, rather that be a lib, a heel stretch, a arabesque, something where they can do some position on a one-leg stunt. Obviously, tumbling is always plus. We bond. We have chats. We talk about what the season looks like. We talk about what we do on the team, what everybody's job is. This year for the recruitment, my captains were the ones that actually led it. So my first year, I didn't get to pick that team, but I did throughout the year create the captains on the team. The second tryout or recruitment, that they did, they were a part of it. Like I said, they had to participate in it. And then for my third season going in, they led it. So this time they got to be on the flip side of it and help me in the decision-making process of who we think we want to pursue more, who we want to go after, who we want to join our team, who has not only good skill, but also good faith. If we can tell by conversations with them, by their attitude, just their personality, if they were going to be a good fit to intermix with us, have the same goals in mind, not only on the athletic side, but like I said, on the faith side as well, because that is a big part of our program and everything on that side. And so it was just, I feel like whenever I switched to that style of recruitment, we have a certain number of uniforms. So if I'm recruiting for 15 people and there's already 20 people on the team, we have a certain amount of uniforms. And so I just think that shifted their mindset of being like, oh, okay, so if she does find someone who can do more than me or who has a better attitude than me or something like that, I may not be in that uniform next year. And so it forces them to try harder and not just get in the position where, oh, I'm comfortable. Because I don't just take how many more we need, I take the best. And so it has, I think, changed their mindset whenever it came to that aspect tremendously. They try harder. I can see it. They work harder. They look sharper. They yell louder. Their attitudes are great. Like, it was just a big shift for me.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen putting on that uniform for the first time representing the school versus your seniors putting it on for the last time?
That is a very emotional response. So I love seeing the smiles on the freshmen whenever they first put on the uniform. You can tell how giddy they are, how excited they are, what this means for them. It's kind of almost like that official step of being on the team. Like, yeah, you see your name on the list. Yeah, you come to practice, but the minute you get to put on that uniform, it's like whole new world. And they're just so, like I said, excited. It's new for them. this is the being there is just, it's a new experience, a new fun experience. And I feel like almost like I take on that energy that they bring whenever they get to do that. It's always at the beginning of the season, especially just like whenever everybody's moods are heightened, everybody's happier, everybody's more excited. It's just overwhelming energy in the room. Whereas on the flip side, when I get to see my seniors put on that uniform, it's emotional. Knowing that this is their last season with me, it's bittersweet. They still, I think, at the beginning of every cheer season, um, still super excited to go into this year and everything along those lines, but also that emotional response of, oh, this is going to be our last season together. I'm tearing up thinking about my seniors this year, but because they've just had such a big or been such a big help for me, and those are my captains this year. Yeah, and so it's bittersweet. I love seeing them in that uniform and knowing how long they've been in that uniform with me, but also like this is their last season of putting on that uniform and the last time I'm going to hear coach from them. And so different emotions, both happy emotions, excited. I'm always excited to see what my freshmen are going to bring into the team and the atmosphere and environment they're going to create, but also get to see that this is a chapter ending for me with my seniors, and they're going to go off to do bigger and better things. They're going to be pursuing families, careers. Still get messages from my other seniors asking me to fill out resumes for them, asking me, hearing that they're going to coach somewhere, and just getting those messages remind me of how big of a part I played in their lives, but also how big of a part they played in mine as well.
What is that like, getting to see those cheerleaders going on and competing professionally, whether it's in the NFL or NBA?
So I do have one of my cheerleaders, past cheerleaders, that is trying out for one of the NFL cheer teams. And so I'm really excited for her and excited to see where she's going to go in that process. I haven't pushed too much on her because I don't want to make her nervous or anything, but I am really excited for her. And I hope that she gets everything, any and everything under the sun in regards to that. I think she's great, and I think she has a great shot of getting it. And so I'm very excited to see her up there possibly. I don't like the team she's trying out for. I don't like the team in the regards of the sports team. Like, I don't root for them. But I told her I would go to the game just to see her do it, just to see her cheer. But I'm very excited for her, and it's going to be obviously really cool to say that I have a past cheerleader on the team. But yeah, I in that regards, I haven't yet to experience that feeling. But who knows? Maybe in a few weeks, I will get to say that I am a past coach of an NFL cheerleader. So.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward, and what have been some of the things you've been able to accomplish so far?
So, my future plans for the program, like I said, is competing. That is our main goal. That's what we're pushing for. That's what we will continue to push for. We are raising money. We are calling people in to teach us. We are going out to camps. We are building our program. We are recruiting more people. I said we do have a certain amount of uniforms, but like I said, we're raising more money to continue to get uniforms if we need to. We've had people fly out to teach us choreography. We've met up with people to teach us choreography. Like, we are working our butts off for this. We are reaching out to companies, businesses, asking for donations, asking for money, putting on our own fundraisers, hosting our own clinics for younger kids. We're doing any and everything on the sun to reach that goal of competing one day. And that's our biggest goal. Some things I've achieved this year is getting money, or my first year was getting money for new uniforms. We had brought them new uniforms. The school had a new logo, but we had not gotten a chance to, or had the money or funds to get a new uniform with that logo on it. So they were still wearing their uniform that has the old logo on it. So I got them new uniforms. This year we got new palms. Our palms were falling apart. They were like crumpled. They weren't the right colors anymore. They were shedding. We were like picking up palm pieces after every game. They got new palms this year. We also got some pink palms for breast cancer awareness. They didn't have anything pink, which I brought them pink bows my first year, and that's kind of what we've recycled through. But other than the bows, before that, they didn't have anything that they use to celebrate that. And that was something I wasn't used to, because every team that I had been on, that had been always, October had been always something that we were very big on. It's pink, and we're a cheer team. We're gonna wear pink. And so that was just something that I wasn't used to. And so got the bows the first year, got palms this year that were pink. We got tape for our mats. We've just been getting newer things. A lot of our things when I walked in were falling apart, if we even had them. Old, worn, just we needed new things. We needed more things. We need more mats that we're also working for. Everything along those lines. So we have met some of our goals in items that we need for our team, but we always obviously can find something else we need. We're living with a lot of things right now, but obviously we have the funds, or when we have the funds to get those things, they will be getting replaced. But we make do with what we have, but we are always pushing to be better, get better, to have better things.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college cheer?
I would say focus on school, obviously, in that aspect, but do what you want to do. The reason I didn't try out for college cheer is because I didn't think that it was gonna be even an option for me. At the time, I was told that, oh, you needed tumbling, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. And so that is part of the reason why I had made that decision, that cheer was, after grade school, senior year of high school, cheer was going to be in the background for me, or be in the past for me. And so it just wasn't something that I thought. I still enjoyed cheer. I was like, it's not going to be an option, so why set myself up for failure? But take the chance. I would say take the chance, because you never know. And I have a lot of girls on my team right now that have never cheered or have dance background or something like that, and they are amazing. I have a gymnast who is crazy strong and has amazing tumbling skills and had no idea about cheer, and is one of the best people I have on my team right now. She just learns so quickly, so fast. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to do that work with you. And so just take the chance. If you want to do something, take the chance. Try out for the team, go after what you want, because you never know. You never know. And so I hate that my mindset a lot of the time is not doing it, because I am so afraid of failure, or automatically expecting disappointment. And that's a mindset I'm learning how to shift and change. But I would say take the chance.
What advice would you give those seniors that have aspirations of competing professional cheer, whether it's in the NFL or NBA?
Go for it. If you're on my team, I have no doubt in my mind that you have a chance of doing it or getting it, because I've seen you. I picked you, I chose you, and I believe in you. And so I think that anyone that I have right now could go and try out and become one. And so I would strongly encourage them to. I would help them if they asked me to. I think that it is a great opportunity and one of the best experiences that you could ever do, if that's something you're interested in, continuing after college. And so I would say go for it.
What advice would you give those coaches out there that are looking to get started in coaching in college cheer?
I'd say, based off of my background, it's never too early. It's never too early to start coaching college. If that's something you're passionate about and that's something you can do, or you want to do, there's going to be somebody that takes that chance on you. And so you got to take that chance on yourself, and go for it as well. I had no idea that I would be in this position that I am today, but I know if I never applied. Even if I thought it was on a whim, even if I thought it was a long shot, I know if I never had applied, I would never be in this position I am today. And so I'm glad I took that chance on myself. And I'm glad that there was someone that took the chance on me and giving me the position. And so it's never too early. It is going to be a fun experience if you start off young. I think if you're passionate about it, there's going to be somebody out there that sees that passion in you. So
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program app?
So we have a cheer page on Instagram. Evangel University Cheer is what our Instagram is. And that's where you can find me. My Instagram is just my first and last name, Richelle Washington. And so either place you can find me or my program, because I think in my Instagram, the Evangel Cheer page is also connected to it as well. But yeah, so that's where you can find me. And best to reach me because my email is flooding with emails. So message me on Instagram, message the cheer page on Instagram. But yeah, that's where you can find us and reach out to us. And then we also have a link on the school's web page somewhere under sports or clubs. You'll see cheerleaders, and that also has information about me and the cheer team as well.
Thank you again, Coach Richelle Washington, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at Evangela as the head cheerleading coach.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.